Alright guys, so let's now get started. So let's just highlight everything, screen and delete that stuff, and then we'll press 1 on the keyboard, the numpad, okay, 1, so that we can go into the front view, and we can now import our reference. Okay, so we hit Shift A and go to image and reference. So I got something from Twitter that we are going to use. It's a Zambian energy drink called cut, and that is what we are going to model. Okay, so it's more like we're going to trace out of this of this image. So this is the, let me just drag this. This is just G, grabbing. Okay, so what we're going to be making is this, and not this. We'll be creating something like that. Okay, I don't want this to be selectable. Okay, so if I was to go to my orbit mode using my my middle click on my mouse, you can be able to see whatever I'm doing with my mouse from this part of the screen. My screencast keys will be showing you everything in case you don't see the steps that I took. Okay, so I was saying I do not want this background to be moving. Okay, because if I grab it, it will be moving. Okay, so if I don't want it to be moving, all I can come to do is come to these filters. Yeah, do that. Let's come to this filters button over there, and then we can click on this arrow, selectable. Okay, we activate that. Let's go back, so we can deselect it there. We can disable it. So when we disable it, it means that we cannot select it. It's no longer selectable. Okay, so this is quite good for us. And then the other thing that we also need to do is we need to increase our undos, the number of undos. Okay, so go to edit preferences, go to system, system, and then memory. Under memory, we have got 32 undo steps in as default. So this could be limiting us when we want to go back to previous steps. So what we can do is we can increase this to 256 so that we can have a large number of undo steps. Okay, and then we can just save these preferences and we can close this. Okay, so let's go to our front view with 1 in the numpad. Okay, we won't be modeling this using real world scale. Okay, so by real world scale for beginners, we mean using the actual sizes that these bottles have in the real world. Okay, so meaning we need to have things like the actual diameter, the actual height in the real world, but in this case we don't have those things, and this model is not going to be used in things like games or in film or in anything. Okay, it's just for our portfolio, so we can just create it the way we want it to be. Okay, so we are going to bring in a cylinder. Shift A, we bring in a cylinder. Okay, and this cylinder right now has got about 32 vertices. I think we can bring this up to like 36. Okay, this is because we will be creating that bottom part. Okay, that bottom part, and it will need the number of vertices, and further on we're going to subdivide this, meaning we're going to add more geometry to it, so that's okay for a starter. Okay, so right now I can't model. So I'll turn this to my wireframe. Okay, you can go to your wireframe by hitting Z on your keyboard, and then you can choose between your different views, whether you want a rendered view or you want a solid view, or a look dev, which is your material preview, or a wireframe view, which is good for me right now because I can be able to see my background and I can be able to trace everything. Okay, so the first thing that I can do is scale this. Okay, I'll scale this like so, then I'll hit G and bring it there. Okay, so if you really want to get so familiar, if you're a complete beginner to Blender, I would recommend you going to Blender Guru's YouTube page and checking out his beginner tutorials, and you have a feel of how to use Blender. And yeah, okay, so I'll just scale this up a bit so just to fit this weight, and then I will scale along the Z. Okay, I'll scale along the Z to like so, then I will bring it up. I'll bring it up like that. Okay, this seems to be okay for now. Okay, so we can go into our edit mode. Okay, like I said, if you hit tab, I'm using machine tools, so if I hit tab, I'll have this pie menu. But if you don't have machine tools, you can still have Blender by default. You know, you just hit tab, then you can place the keys 1, 2, 3, and then it will take you to whichever editing mode that you want. Okay, so I'm going for the VTC mode. So holding shift, I'll pan. So I'll highlight these vertices and bring them down a little bit like so, and I will scale them in. I think, yeah, I'll scale them in like so. Okay, we won't get everything perfect, but we just want to have a shape. Then we can add some cuts to this thing. Okay, so that we can create more geometry to work with, because right now we cannot deform it in any way. Okay, so we're going to add some loop cuts with Ctrl R, and then we can add a number of loop cuts. I think we can add something like that. That is okay for now. We can still add some more if we want. So we can highlight these vertices and scale them. My scale's not working. And scale these. Okay, scale them to like so. I think I'll need another loop cut in between, and I can scale it as well. I'll scale it like so. Then I'll come to this one and I will scale it like that. Okay, scale it like so. I think you can add 2 more. Okay, but we're going to still subdivide this thing, so it is okay. Okay, so we can scale this with S on the keyboard. I will scale it like so. So all I need is just to get this general shape. Okay, that's what I want. So you can add another one here, that one here. You can add one, that one here, and for this one we can just push it down a little. Just G and push it down a little like that. Then we can scale this one also. We'll scale this one to up to like so. Also scale, I think I can just hold these and scale them together. Bring this one like so, and scale this one also. Scale this one. Okay, we'll do our adjustments. Right now we're just trying to block out this whole thing. Okay, so I'll also scale this one. I'll scale this one to like so. Scale this one as well. So always get into the habit of using reference if you're a beginner or an idiot, because reference help you to have the general form of your model. Okay, it also gives you an idea of what you have to do and how you get to do it. Okay, so we have something like that. So we want to help this rounding over here. We want to help, so we're going to add some geometry. I think let's add 2 loops here and then we can select this one and scale it to like so. Then we can also select this one and scale it to like so. Yeah, I think it is okay for now. Okay, let me go to my so if I press Shift S on my keyboard, it will take me back to my solid mode. If I hit Shift S to go to my wireframe, so this is a shortcut. Instead of just using the Z to move between the two, we can just press Shift S and then it will change the view from there. Okay, so I want you to say something. Let me just disable the cylinder. So this model has got a form of inset there. There's this inset like this arc somewhere there. Then down here as well we can see that there's another one, okay, just going in and then it comes out, and then there is there where it goes, it is in and then it comes out to form this other shape. And then on top here we also have got that thing. Okay, so that is what we're going to create right now. So I'll place Shift S on the keyboard and let's make those things. Okay, so for this one it's going to be very easy because we're going to be subdividing this thing. So it's going, the subdivision modifier will make this thing round. So what we can do to this part is we can insert it in. So let's go to our face mode, okay, which is tab 3 if you don't have machine tools, and we can select this whole loop, this whole face loop by putting Alt. It's called I don't know, something is okay. I think let me I think that was my problem. I was in wireframe mode and then I was unable to select the other vertices. So what we can do is just hold Alt on the keyboard and I don't know what is going on to my Alt. Let me try to check input. Yeah, so I had this option here, it says emulate ribbon and mouse, so I have to take it out so that I can have my Alt working. Okay, so if I hold my Alt and Shift, then I will be able to select my my loop, my entire loop. So in order for me to insert this inner, I can press E on my keyboard and then you see what happens. It is not extruding along the normals. So at this point I can hit escape and then hit Alt on the keyboard and plus S. Okay, so this will now enable us to scale inner like so. Okay, that's what it does. So let us just go to our front view mode and go to our wireframe, and then we're going to extrude this again. We're going to say E to extrude, then we cancel this with escape, then Alt S on the keyboard so that we can be able to extrude inner. So we're going to extrude this a little bit inner like so. Okay, and if you want you can even create another with a loop cut. You can create like a loop cut in between, and you can select the vertices there and then bring it in like so. Okay, and then this will create a nice rounding when you add the subdivision modifier. Okay, just let me just show you I think what I'm talking about. So already my let's go to my solid mode. Okay, then I can go to my wireframe. Okay, so this looks a bit faceted and jagged. Okay, so what we need to do is to make this look smooth, and you can do that by hitting the right key on your mouse and then say shade smooth. Okay, and you can shade it smooth like that, and this is not the only step that you need to do. Right now the smoothing looks quite okay, but it will have some some surface issues like stretching. So what you need to do is come to your menus, come to this pattern here, object data properties, click on it, then go down to normals and then click on auto smoothing. Okay, as you can see, there's that difference that is going on there. Okay. So with Blender 3.4, the auto smoothing button is just right there. It's just right there in the menu. Just have to right click and then click on it. Okay, since I'm using another version, like I earlier said, because of my screencast key, so we just have to go with this method. Okay, so I wanted to show you the subdivision modifier. What happens? So we have these sharp corners. We have got these sharp corners, as you can see there. So if we were to go to our modifiers there, then we bring in a subdivision modifier, which is under the solidify modifier, and we click on it. Okay, so this is what it does. Okay, as you can see, it smooths the surface. Okay, it makes the surface much smoother. So you can bring up the subdivision level to like 2 if you want. So there's still this sharp edge up here, and I think I know the reason why. So the reason as to why we have this sharpness is because of the inset that we made. Okay, so if I was to go into my edit mode, this one, so I can disable this for now. Not to see it. Yeah, because of this extrusion that we made, we have got more like this edge, can I call it edge tightening, so to say, in between them. This is why we have that very sharp transition. So what I can do is I can bring this up a little bit, just shift it up like this, like shifting up. I think there was a break. Yeah, I think there was a break. I just, if you can, I don't know if you've seen that. So, I think there was a break somewhere. Let me try to bring it up. Yeah, I think there was an issue. Okay, I think, let me, so in such a case, okay, I will undo this. The two ways you can do this: you can undo this or merge the vertices. Okay, so wondering how I'm going to select them right now. What's the best way to select them so that I merge them all together? Okay, let's go to our front view mode. Let's go to our wireframe mode. Then let's go to our vertex selection. So we're going to highlight these vertices. Let's just see which ones are on top and which ones are below. So we have these. Okay, so we have these ones. Let's see, these ones are the ones before. So if we get one from here, let's get one. These seem like to be connected already. I don't know why. It's like I created two edges. It's like I created when I made my extrusion. When I made my extrusion, the extrusion actually worked. Okay, so it created another extrusion on top of another extrusion. So what we can do now, I think we can merge these. Merging, so the problem, how we're going to select them. So let's try to do this. Okay, select these and then let's say merge by distance. We turn on the merge by clicking on this button up here, okay, which is close to the X, Y, and Z button. Then hit M on the keyboard and say merge by distance is zero. Vertices have been merged. So let's do this. Okay, let's highlight all the vertices there. Let's highlight all the vertices there, and then let's say merge by distance. This is removed vertices, which means they have been merged, they've been welded together. So if we go to our solid view, okay, and you see now we now got one vert there, we now have one edge over there, okay. So now there's no edge tightening, that extrusion that we made had caused a tightening. So if we were to switch on our modifier, you see it now smooths out well, it smooths out very well. You see that is that smoothing transition that is going on. So if we want to make it more rounded so that we can see the rounding, all we can do is bring in a loop cut with Ctrl R, bring in a loop cut, and then we can create that rounding, can give it a feel of that rounding. I think we have got a similar problem somewhere. Okay, so I was just trying to show you some of the problems that you get to encounter, that is problem solving, and I've just shown you how you can fix that kind of problem that you can have if you extruded something or inserted something and then cancel the operation. There is a provision that you might have had created another layer of vertices. So merge is one way in which you can get rid of those extra geometry. I think we are smooth and ready to go down there. Okay, so let's go back to modeling. So we said we wanted to create this part and create that part, so we can disable our subdivision for now and go to our edge mode, and then we'll go back to our wireframe mode, and we can extrude this with E, shift that is E. We can extrude it to like so, and we can go to our top view. Let's go to our 3D view and let's go to our face mode. Let's go to our face mode, and we can add an insert. Okay, I'm just going to insert this a little bit, let's say okay, up to like so. Then let's go to our 3D. Okay, then we can scale this. Hitting set, we can scale this so that it touches the edge. Okay, touches the edge like that. This is okay. And then we can extrude this. We can extrude this to like so. Okay, extruded it like so. I think this edge on top, this edge is quite bigger than the edge below, so we can also shrink it in by scaling it in like that, so that it doesn't hang out a lot. Okay, so we're going to create this top part. Okay, we are in the 3D mode. Okay, so go to our face mode. We want that. So there are many ways that you can create this part. Okay, so this one of the that I like is just extrude it out like so. Then I get to scale it out. Scale it out like so. I'll hold shift so that you can have this smooth kind of movement. Then I'll extrude it a little bit because I know it's going to be rounded by the subdivision modifier. Okay, so I'm going to insert this one. I'm going to insert. Okay, just bring an insert somewhere there, and then I can scale it in like so, and then I can lift it up. Like this. Okay, lift it up like that. Then extrude it as well. So if I hit one on my keyboard and go to my front view mode, I'll have something like this. Okay, so let us now try to switch on our subdivision. Okay, so our subdivision is working pretty well here, so we can add a loop cut on this top part so that we can create okay, what's going on, so that we can fasten this. Okay, so we can create one or if you want, you can mark these edges. Okay, Alt and select them, and then right click and then mark them as sharp. Let's say mark sharp. Mark sharp worked. Doesn't work. Okay, that's okay. Or you crease them, I mean crease, yeah. So you can come to edge crease and then you can crease them like that. But mark sharp but creasing, and crease them like that if you want. So just leave them the way they are like that. I'm happy, and I will just pull this, let's see, pull this to somewhere like so, and then on the top edge, on the face, I can just insert it a little. If I want, I can insert it in. Okay, so there's no need from it because it's just going to be a bottle. So I can just delete this part, which will sort out all my issues. So set my face, and then it sorts out all my issues. So we can now add in some face loops so that we can just add some tightening to this thing. Control R and bring in some edge loops. Bring in the edge loop over there and the edge loop over there. So we're just giving it a little bit of form. Okay, and like I said, this part has been smooth for us, so there's no need for me to labor on it. Okay, so if I go to my object mode, you see we already have, let me turn off my image. So you can turn off your image. This is your image in your viewport. You can hide image in viewport by clicking that, so it's just temporary. Then if you want to hide this image in your render, you can just turn off this button there. Okay, so we have this basic model that we're going to work with for now. The next thing we can do is just, let's try to create this bottom part and this part. Okay, so turn this subdivision off once again so that we can just work with this. So we want to create our we said we want to create this, we want to create an insert there. There's an insert somewhere there. There's an insert somewhere there. Okay, so we're just going to add some cuts. Let's go to our viewport. So we're just going to add some cuts. We're going to add a cut around here. Then Control R, and then we're going to add a cut around there. Then we're going to add another cut. I think, let me bring these vertices. I think they're just okay where they are. PG. Okay, we're going to bring this up. We're going to bring this up like so, and what can we do? We're going to go to our face mode. Let's go to our face mode, and then I will loop select these faces, and then I'll extrude them outwards, okay, or along their numbers. So that was E on the keyboard, then cancel operation, then Alt S. Okay, and we can extrude them just a little bit, not so much, just a little bit, like so, and go down there. Let's go to our 3D. Let's go to 3D, so that we see what we have. Okay, let's turn on our subdivision modifier. Okay, I think that is pretty much okay, and we can add in some loop cuts so that we can just tighten this up a little bit. Okay, so we can add a loop cut to somewhere like so, and then we can add another loop cut to somewhere like so, and then it gives this tightening kind of feel there. Okay, so we can now model this bottom part.